one of the questions on the final will be spelling 7th chords. You'll get a bunch of different spellings of all different kinds of chords with the same letter. There'll be more than just one, of course, and they'll be mixed up, and then you have to choose from a list what their names are. Now, in order to do this, you'll have to be able to know what these mean, what their anatomy is, like what kind of triad and what kind of 7th, and then you'll have to know how to calculate that. Now, if you're not sure about that, you should go check out those training videos where we did this, and we talked a lot about what kind of triads in each one of these kind of chords, and what kind of 7th and what that means. And in your packet there is a complete description of how to spell those 7th chords. At the end of every section, whether it's triads, major scales, 7th chords, there's a sort of diagnostic how-to, comprehensive 1-pager or 2-pager, and you should go back and look at that. Like I said, those are the training videos right there. I'm going to go through this one real quick. Promise that the A chords are not on the final, but similar chords will be. They could be any of the other letters to start on. So remember that a 7th chord has a triad. That'd be these 3 notes right there. And then a 7th, which is measured the distance from there to there. Although we like to take that and measure backwards. Okay? So first off, we just go with the one with no sharps or flats or anything. ACE is a minor triad right there. Okay. Now, if you are really good at this already, you know that there's only one kind of 7th chord that has a minor triad in it, and that's the minor 7 chord right there. And minor 7 chords have a minor triad and a minor 7th, which is defined as 10 half steps up, but we measure it more the other way and say it's minus a whole step, which is 2 half steps down right there. Okay, that's useful information because later when you need to calculate them, you can compare against that. So there's that. Okay, if we look here, we have 2 chords with a major triad. There are 2 chords that have major triads. One of them is the major 7 chord, and one of them is the dominant 7th chord. So you just have to figure out which is which. And if you know the definitions, then you know that the major 7 has a major triad and a 7th that is a major 7th, and that means 11 half steps up or down from the root 1 half step. And the dominant, which is the 5 chord version, has a whole step down from the root, or a minor 7th. And you can compare. Since we knew that the minor 7 chord right here had a minor triad and a minor 7th, we can see that this also has the plain old G, which is a whole step down. So this is the same 7th, different triads. Major triad, minor 7th. That's going to be a dominant chord. Again, got to be able to spell these and measure them. Got to know what the definitions are, and should be able to match them up, but deduction really helps. That means that this has a major triad, and G sharp is a half step down, right? And that's your major 7th. Also, another thing you can do is if you're organized on the test, you can eliminate the ones that you know really, really well, and then just get down to sort of tacks on these, brass tacks on these. Now, these ones here and there have diminished triads, right? You have a minor triad and you lower the 5th, so that makes a diminished triad. And this is a diminished triad right here, and this G right there is a whole step down, so this is a minor 7, right? And this one here is G flat, which is lower, so this is 1.5 half steps down, right? And that's called a diminished 7. So you just need to know the definitions here. The diminished 7 and the diminished triad is called a diminished 7 chord, and diminished triad and minor 7 is called a half diminished, because the triad part, or triad half of it, is diminished, but the 7th part is minor, so it's not. So it's only half diminished. That's how you do that. If anything here was not comfortable or confident, you should go back and look at the training video, look at the other videos. You just do a search inside the playlist for 7th chords, and it will talk about measuring these things, and have a picture of a keyboard that you can, of course it can't be labeled with cheat sheets and things, but cheat notes, but have a picture of a keyboard that you can reference, so you can measure whole steps and half steps and things down from the root to the 7th. Okay. On the test, there will probably be 3 or 4 kinds of chords. Like there could be A chords and D chords and G chords, or A chords and C chords and B chords, or something like that. And you'll have a whole set of each. And if you're just methodical through it, you should be able to get through that okay.